Greetings. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. So Tuesday is the day that is ruled by Mars. Tuesday is ruled by Mars. Yes. And Mars is currently at the 5th degree of Taurus. And Mars, how y'all doing? Greetings. Okay, Mars is the planet that rules our body. It rules our will. Mars rules the solar plexus. I have been profoundly fascinated by how the more I do this work, the more I begin to feel the actual energies of the planets in my body. And I can see from where I come from, who I was like maybe 10 years ago, that I was so distracted, that my energies were so focused externally. My mindset was really focused on things that really don't have anything to do with who I am authentically. And as I do the work to restore my authentic self, bring my mindset to what feels authentic and come back to my authentic self. And how I understand what my authentic self is through my North Node. Let me say that. The North Node is the guiding light. It's the North Star, right? So if you know the story in the Bible, they talk about how the three wise men, the Magi, they were magicians is what they were. They were three magicians, and they took frankincense and things that magicians used, and they went to go see the Christ, the light, the sun. But they followed the North Star. And in astrology, the North Star in your natal chart is your North Node. How can you really get yourself to your most authentic self? By following your North Node. So this is how I do it. But it's a journey. It's a path. It doesn't happen all at once. It's something that I'm continuing in the process of. And as I witness myself, I see so clearly how my ways of being were, gosh, what do I want to say? I want to try to talk slow so I can, how I was extraordinarily misaligned, how I was my energy was corrupted by patriarchal thinking, by feeling like I have to compete, there's not enough. Like those deep subliminal thoughts create extraordinary turmoil inside of ourselves. And I didn't know it then while I was in it because it was normal. It was all I knew. But now that I've done the work and I'm doing it on a regular basis to meet myself, to meet the parts of me that are limited, to meet the parts of me that are confused, that are resting in jealousy and competition, inviting the parts of me that are filled with fear and ego-driven craziness, like sitting with those aspects of myself. And what do those aspects look like on a practical way? They look like I used to have an incredible sense like that I just needed a man. Like I just can't do this life if I don't have a man to make me feel safe in the world. And I have to make myself small so that I won't be intimidating to a man. This is just one of the ideas. There were so many, right? Another one was like I had a real interesting thing around money and a scarcity thing where every month I would go into a story of I don't have enough, this isn't enough. And so when I had a story with I don't have enough, everything I did, shopping at the grocery store felt like, everything was anchored in this scarcity way of being. And as I'm doing the work to heal and transmute these frequencies, these thought forms, these paradigms that come to me through my lineage, taking responsibility for it all. As I do the work, I'm beginning to see how trapped I was then. And I remember that I didn't think so. I remember when I first started doing this work, and I didn't think that I had a lot of work to do. Oh my God. The level of arrogance that I have had is profound. It's profound. The level of thinking that I could do something that I can, or thinking that I am something that I'm not, thinking that others are something that they're not, like all of that stuff, the level of arrogance that I see, that I've had to break down, deconstruct. And here's the thing, the only way to do it is self-love, because you can't run from yourself. You take it with you everywhere you go. So the thing that I see is wherever I go, I'll project the same reality until I do something about it. So oftentimes, I would go into a place and I would think it's them. And then I would go somewhere else and think it's them. Guess what? Guess who it was? It was me. It was me, right? And while the sun is in Cancer, I am watching my stories, my manipulation. I'm watching all of it hit me right in the face. The things that I have, like delusions and like all of it hitting me in the face. And it is profound. It is profound. And, if I'm not careful, I could move into shame about it, right? And embarrassment. But I'm like, that's going to just compound it. So just allow yourself to be with yourself and love yourself. Love yourself. Love yourself. And it's the love that then shows you where the things are. It's the love that says, hey, have you seen this lately? What's going on? Oh, the love. And you go, hey, we think you forgot this back behind you. Like, did you notice that you left this scarcity feeling with here? Like, come and get it. Right. So it's the love that allows that. And the willingness to take responsibility for it all. The willingness to know that there's nothing ever happening outside of me, that I am the creator of all of it. And the reason I can say that I'm the creator of all of it is because I understand how this reality works. Not because I feel like I create stuff. Honestly, sometimes I don't. Things happen that I'm like, that's them. But because I know how this reality works, because I understand that the light is coming and penetrating the subconscious and the psyche and projecting what's inside of me to the external. Every story I'm telling, every feeling I'm having is all me. It's not the other person. The other person is responsible for what's going on with them, but I know that what's responsible. And so because I understand how it works, I cannot continue to blame anyone else. Not white people, not the system, not the police. I never had challenges with the police anyway, but it's a really challenging thing to understand how this motherfucker works, because we are generating these realities, y'all. We are generating it, and you cannot escape your narrative. You cannot escape your beliefs. You cannot escape your subconscious. You can't get away from. You can reprogram it. You can face it. You can take responsibility for it. But you cannot escape it. It does not. It will go wherever you go. It will go wherever you go. And sometimes we think, oh, if I go somewhere else, it's going to be better. You'll go somewhere else and it'll be better for a minute. But then who you are is going to show up, and it'll turn into the same thing that everything else was. Because that's the fuck how this shit works. I'm telling you guys, this stuff is blowing my mind so much, because I'm getting to see that I'm like, it's mesmerizing to me when I start to really see the connections. Now, I can come on here all day long and talk about the easy things that I create. Oh, I generated this. I needed to make $500 and it happened. That stuff happens too. all the time. Yes, that stuff happens too. And that stuff is exciting. But the shadow stuff, right now, the South Node is moving through Scorpio. And we are all being forced to look at our shadows and who we are and what we are, our lineage, all of that. And with the Cancer sun, like the shadow is ooh, it's just something else, right? So Mars, today is a Mars day, and Mars is in Taurus. Mars just got to Taurus last week, I think. And Mars in Taurus is the energy of, let me just say that Mars is not happy in Taurus. Let's say that. Because we have to really slow down. So that's the good part. That we have to slow down and be in your feelings, right? Because Taurus is your senses. It's your sensory. Yes, the shadow work is super tough, but it is rewarding, you guys. I want you to know, I really want to encourage you to venture into your shadow work, because the rewards are the best thing about it. Because all I know is that everything pays off. That's it. Everything pays off in this reality. And you're not here to suffer. So when we are willing to look at the shadow, the darkness will reward us something. The shadow is where we find our power. That's the thing that's important to know. So the reason it's not hard is because it's not easy to access your power. That's just how it is. And if you want to access your power and who you really are, you will have to sacrifice for it. You will have to sacrifice everything you think you are to access your true power and your real identity. And it's a journey, but that's what we're here for. We're here to do that. And guess what? The way this Earth system is set up right now, we'll do it thousands of times, until we wake up and realize we're in a pattern and we're stuck and we want to get out of it. Is there anything you do specifically working with your shadow? Is there anything I do specifically? If you would like to know that, you can come and book a reading with me. Because everything I share here is always about my specific stuff. But I would love to do a reading with you, and I can share all of it. Because one of the things about sharing the shadow stuff for me is that it's really hard work. It's really hard work. And when I do my really hard work, I don't really want to share it in ways that doesn't honor it. So if you're interested, come book a session with me, because I have to honor my work. And this is how I share to share, you know what I mean? But the depths of stuff, I teach the classes. If you want to understand, because the people in my classes are doing the shadow work. So if you want to know, come take the classes, right? Honor yourself by coming to sit in a space where the work is really being done. That's the best way to do it. So Mars in Taurus is about our senses, and it's really about giving us, like, what is it that you feel? What is it that you are sensing? And can you trust your feelings? Now, here's the thing. Many of us were raised to not trust ourselves. We were raised and convinced that we were not enough and that we should not trust ourselves. That is the way of this world. This world, yes. This world is created to convince us that we're not enough, that we shouldn't listen to ourselves, that we can't be safe with one another. And so many of us are in a constant state of fight or flight because I know, right? We're in a constant state of fight or flight because we have not healed the conditioning and the patterning. And being able to trust what you feel and have the courage to honor it is really profound. Because like I said in several videos ago, I said something like, what we actually see with our eyes is 5% of what's really happening. So if we're not doing the work to be present to the invisible reality, then we're missing it. By the time we're actually dealing with something, it's because it's already over, right? Like you might hear somebody who is like, maybe somebody complains a lot all the time and you just hear them complaining, but what's really going on inside of them, they might have some deep karmic wound that's rubbing them the wrong way. They could have this might sound really weird, but they could have like a negative karmic entity that passed down through their family. And that entity is keeping them stuck in a pattern of complaining and not really seeing the truth of who they are. And so, but you don't know that that's what it is. You just meet this person and you hear that they always have a negative story. But at the energetic level, it's something that could have happened 300 years ago. And I mean, this stuff is so mind-blowing. That's the thing. Like, when I come to share information, I don't really want to overload people because that doesn't serve the purpose, right? I really want to invite people into practice. And so, but like I'm saying, that's why it's very important to do your shadow work, because you might find that, like in my own shadow work, I've discovered that I have an energy that is a sexual connection in my natal chart. It's in my natal chart, right? So I have Neptune in Scorpio squaring Mars in Leo. All that is about is sexual energy, spiritual energy, creative energy. And in my shadow experience, that energy occurred to me as a desire, I want to say like a desire to have sex with everybody. Like it was like an energy that just ran me, that had me always, for lack of a better word, desiring sex, but when I started to do the work through the shadow and realize how the energy should truly function, then I could begin to heal the patterns. And realize how the energy really functions is that it's just a high frequency of spiritual creative energy that I'm channeling through me. I can use it for sex, but I don't have to. I can also use it to create. I can also use it in my Reiki practice. I can also use it, but I didn't know that. I had to do the work to understand it, to get clear. And that's what I'm always asking us, inviting us into. We are breaking bonds, and sometimes they aren't ours. They are almost always passed down. And now, that's right. I'm finding that's right. And if they're with you, they're yours. I want you to know that, right? They come through the karmic, but we make an agreement to come here. Everything we do here is an agreement, right? We make these agreements before we get here. And when we pass through the portal, we forget. One of the things about being an infant human means that you are helpless. In the animal kingdom, most animals that are born have to walk or fly almost immediately. It's just how it is. Like within soon being born. Like if an elephant is born today, it's going to be walking today. But humans, we're not that way. We are fully conscious in bodies that have to develop and grow in order to become what they can be. And in that, it slows down our intellectual and spiritual wisdom. We have to move into a forgetfulness. We have to actually come through the portal, become babies, and forget fucking everything. Forget how to walk. Forget how to feed yourself. You don't forget your body is beating your heart and all of those things are happening, but you have to remember everything again. And so there's some things that you spend so much time remembering, and we live in a world that then when you're 2 and 3 that says you have to read this and these are the rules and all. And so then you're not remembering the stuff that you actually need to remember for your evolution. You're being taught, stuff is being put in you that really has very little value. Yes, you need to know to stop at a red light. You do. You do need to know to stop at a red light. But you don't. There's so many things that they fill us up with that keep us in a forgetful state. They tell us to get jobs. Those jobs take you further away from who you are. All of that stuff, all of it is calamity, right? Yes, that's a word right there. I'm booking my reading now. It's time to continue to raise my, that's right. Absolutely. And I look forward to being with you. And so when we begin to really be committed, and when I say committed, I mean committed by knowing that you are safe and loved, because you meet yourself when you commit to this work. You do. You meet yourself when you are committed to this work. You meet something inside of yourself where you get to realize you are safe and loved. So much so that you can walk into your own shadow and you can face the parts of yourself that are defeated, ashamed, abandoned, that you can face the parts of yourself through your ancestry, right? That gave up your power, that where it was overwhelming and something in life broke you. And we bring that stuff every, I'm telling you, we don't leave nothing behind, okay, you guys? We leave nothing behind. Everything is stored here, right? And so when you trust yourself enough and you know that you are loved because you have connected to your spirit beings, you have connected, like, so for me, I have altars. I have altars all around my house to remind me. I have altars in my yard. I go and remind, so that I'm always reminded that then, sometimes I'm feeling amazing and I'm like, okay, I'm good. But sometimes I feel like shit and I'm like, okay, this feels bad. And because I have secured myself in the work, I can be with the bad feelings. I can be with the things that I don't prefer because I know that it has its value. Pain is a part of this process, my darlings. Pain is a part of this process. I wish that it were not. No, I don't. I'm grateful for it. Thank you to the pain. But it is a necessary part of the process. For those of us who have given birth, we understand what that means. Especially if you've given birth naturally, you understand that it is in the contracting. You squeeze, and when you open up and it hurts, and then it opens, and then that baby comes down more, and then it squeezes, and it hurts, and you cry out, and then it opens, and then that baby comes down more. This is the process that we're always going through, creating ourselves. You cannot, and let me tell you guys, I used to avoid pain because I'm so sensitive. I have a Pisces rising, and I have Neptune in a trine with my Pisces rising. That's right, pain pushes, that's Dr. Reverend Michael. He said the pain pushes and the vision pulls, and it's true. It's true. It really is true. And so when we are constantly in a state of contracting and expanding. Contracting and expanding. That's the human process. That's the creative process. Contraction is the feminine, where you go in and you go into the dark. Expansion is the masculine. Contraction is the moon. Expansion is the sun. Contraction is the yin. Expansion is the yang. You cannot have one without the other. And sometimes your life might be one event of contracting and contracting and contracting and contracting. And then there's just one huge expansion. But it's just how it works. It is how it works. So when you go with it, the ebb and the flow of the ocean, the ebb and the flow, right, of the breath, the in and out of the breath, it is all the same thing. It is all the experience of creation. And you are a creator made in the image and likeness of God. That's what it means. To be a creator means that you are made in the image and likeness of God. Why? Because God, Goddess, is creative at its core. That's it. You are creative. You are a product of nature. Why? Because you are creative. because you are creating and it is in you. It's in your nature. All the stuff that we've been taught goes against our nature, our natural way of being. So that's why I'm always here saying, this is what the alignment is. This is what the sun is doing right now. This is what the moon is doing right now. So you can begin to put on your detect, like your GPS. Where's my alignment? What feels right? What feels bad? Because you want to begin to become more and more in your alignment so that you are, and as you become more and more in your alignment, you will be more unaligned with the culture that we are in. And that is not easy because we want to fit in, we want to belong, all of those kinds of things, right? But the more of us that are willing to step out of fitting in and belonging, the more of us, like, one of my partners would say, we got to stun on these niggas. And I don't even use the M word, generally. That's the only time I use it, when I say we got to stun on these niggas, right? Because we have to be the example of how it works. You have to be, we need to see people living it in their grandeur, in their power. We need to see it so that we understand it's safe and we can do it too. That's why. And people, I shouldn't brag. Brag about what you created. Brag about please brag, please. Because if you don't, no one knows. If you don't, you're not going to be inspiring people. And we need to be inspired into a new way of being. We need to see that it's viable. We need to see that it works. So Mars is about our will. It's about our embodiment. It's about our aggression, assertion, our fire, our passion, right? And in Taurus is money. Taurus is self-worth, self-value. Taurus is your sensory body, your feelings, right? Your senses, taste, touch, feeling, hearing. Taurus. And here's the thing. It's all about what you believe about yourself. We all have an energetic frequency that goes around us. We are emitting a frequency. And depending on how tapped in you are, your frequency can go for blocks and blocks and blocks. But there's a frequency the frequency either goes in like that, which means it's running backwards. If it's running backwards, it's because you have scarcity. You don't have your own sense of value. If your frequency is running backwards, and it will create depression and sadness and not having enough and lack and all of that, because you don't understand your own net worth, your own power. You don't understand who you are, so you're looking for something external to validate who you are. Then your energy is running backwards. But when you know who you are, and you know that you are a creator, and you know that you are here on purpose, your energy runs this way, and then you begin to generate this, and it goes all around you, right? One day we'll have to do some sort of computer simulation so we can see it, because we can see there's a vibration that goes around. And when your energy is in the alignment of the I am, you begin to generate power and frequency based upon your own constitution, based upon who you say you are. So for me, I say I live in the realm of magic. I live in the dimension of miracles. Everything I touch turns to gold. Everything I do is aligned with love. And so when anything is not aligned with that, I will meet it. I'm like, okay, I have to see where I'm not there. I have to see where that is not my truth. Where am I doing something that's not in alignment? Okay, and then come back, right? And so literally understanding your codes and using them as you see fit. As you see fit. Not as the world sees fit. Not as your mother sees fit. Not as your father. Not as the government. But as you see fit. And that takes having confidence. And that takes really, for me, it takes understanding that I am the creator of my reality. I am the creator of my reality. Even when I don't think I am, even when I'll be like, oh, please, I cannot imagine that I created that. I know how it works. Like, it would be like looking at a tree full of oranges and being like, why is this tree growing oranges? Well, we know why that tree is growing oranges, because somebody planted an orange seed and now the tree is growing oranges. The same is true for your life. How come I'm having hard times in my relationships? Where did I seed this? What are the things I'm telling myself that's then sprouting problems in my relationship? How come I'm having health challenges? Where are the seeds that you are creating the health challenges, and now they're sprouting in your life? I have so much abundance. Where are the seeds of abundance? And now it's sprouting in your life. Oh, I have so many wonderful friends and a beautiful community. Where are the seeds for that? And now it's sprouting in your life, right? It's all coming from within you. It's how it works. That's just how this place is. It's how it works. So the moon is in Capricorn. We are getting ready to move into a full moon energy. A full moon is coming tomorrow. Amanda said, yes, I catch myself asking questions like this every time I catch my mind. That's right. We're going to have a full moon in Capricorn. And on Thursday, I'm going to be gathering with a few of my other goddess sisters, and we're going to be doing a Cancer ritual that is anchored in jumping timelines and restoring our energies from this lifetime and any other that we have ever had. And this is going to be a donation base. So if you can give a little or a lot, whatever it is, we accept it and everyone's welcome. Okay. How is that going to work? So you can, so you can either donate at my Venmo or my PayPal, and then I'll need your email, right? So I'll need your email to be able to send you the link so that you can participate. And we're going to have it on Thursday night. Right now, I think we're going to do it at about 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, something like that. It will be recorded if you cannot, and we're going to be doing it every month, right? I want to do something that really is an offering every month. So you guys can send me a private message. Like I said, I'm still working out the details, but it'll get done by Thursday. And I love you guys. We're shifting, we're healing, we're changing, we're transforming. And we're perfect as we are at the same time. We are always in a constant state of perfection, because perfection is becoming, just so you know. So, people always say, I'm not perfect. Please never say I'm not perfect. Please don't ever say that. Please never, ever, ever say that. Because if you say that, then you create that. You are always perfect right where you are, just as you are, because you are always becoming. So, peace and blessings. I love you guys. Have a really beautiful day. Bye-bye.